Hi, it's been a while, but it's your girl Be Free. I'm back with ways to save you time and money. Listen, by trade I'm a real estate broker, but I didn't want the website nor the videos to be completely about real estate. But in this particular day and age where properties are such a good buy, I really felt the need to talk about ways to save time and money as a buyer. That means if you're owner-occupant or an investor, these are all really good tips and things for you to know as you look at real estate and properties that you're interested in purchasing. So the first thing is CLUE. Get a CLUE. This is an acronym. It means Comprehensive Loss Underwriting Exchange. And the easiest way to explain this is like a credit report that goes along with your house. So say for instance a pipe burst and there's a flood or there's a hailstorm and the roof was replaced. Those are now two claims on the property. And so that actually stays with the property. So as a buyer, doesn't matter if the property changes hands, you may have an issue with that property being insurable and also the premiums. Now speaking of insurance, flood insurance. This is something that even if the property wasn't originally or initially in a flood zone, it could now be in a flood zone. And this comes about from building and having more construction, more asphalt, more pavement, less grass, less ground where water can saturate it, so there's more water runoff. And we know that there have been catastrophic incidents across the country. So we really do need to be concerned about flood insurance. Now what that means to you as a buyer is your premiums could be 2, 4, or 5 times greater than they normally would be if the property is in a flood zone. So the way to check both the CLUE report and flood insurance and whether or not the property is in a flood zone is to contact your insurance provider. Give them the property address and they can speak to the insurability of the home and what the premiums will be. Now all of these things are not in an effort to get you to run from the property. It's just so you know about the property and you can make informed decisions going forward. The other thing in terms of insurance is title insurance. Now this is going to give you a hedge of protection as a buyer against any claims or if someone says, hey, this is a part of my property or it should be my property. Encumbrances or liens, anything that can go against the title is where your title insurance falls into play. Now if you're getting a loan for the property that you're interested in buying, the lender is going to get their title policy. But you as an owner need to get your title policy. So let's say, for example, you get a knock on the door. You open the door, it's a young lady, looks so sweet, angelic almost, and she says, ma'am, my great-great-great-grandfather owned all of this land, including where your house sits, and I'm an heir to his estate, and so this house is mine. All right, it's time to get your title insurance involved because when you bought the property, you bought it free and clear of any liens, encumbrances, or any claims that someone may have against the title. So these are all important points if you're interested in buying a property or you actually close on a property to make sure you understand about the insurance. Now the next category is kind of a lump sum, or we're going to group several things in that category. And these are things like hazards. So mold and mildew and lead-based paint, polybutylene piping, stucco, siding, etc. And some of these things we've known about, polybutylene piping and also hardcore stucco versus synthetic stucco. We've known about those things. But we're also finding out about a lot of things like mold and that there are thousands of species of mold and the hazards of mildew. So some things we're learning as we go in Chinese drywall. But you want a checklist of items to look into as a buyer doing their due diligence of all the things that you do in fact need to check. So look at those checklist of items. And if you don't remember them all, it will be on the website, which, oh, by the way, is www.free2save.net. That's www.freetosave.net. So be sure to look on the website. Another thing is septic. Now, I know for some of you that may be foreign, may not have even heard of a septic tank, but there are a lot of people across the country where it is pertinent. And so what you want to do as a buyer is to have the tank checked out. Make sure that it's inspected. It may be called a septic clearance letter or a septic letter, but it's something you do want to check out as a potential buyer. And the last category is addendums. Now, again, we live in an era where there are lots of bank-owned properties and pre-foreclosures, which in essence, most of them are short sales. And so what happens is the bank will have their own addendum. And the addendum is all the things that they're changing from the original contract. So let's say, for instance, the bank addendum has a 5-day inspection period, and your contract has a 15-day inspection period. Well, guess what you have as a buyer? 5 days. So the addendums will override the contract, special stipulations, and exhibits. So as a buyer, you need to be sure that you understand exactly what those addendums say, because it's going to change some aspect of your contract. So I know that these tips will definitely help you in saving time and money as you buy properties out there. And don't forget to check out your girl Be Free and to check out the website freetosave.net. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.